daily. Matt is on assignment in Atlanta at Emory University this morning. And while Savannah, of course, remains on maternity leave. We've got lots coming up in this next half hour, next hour.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to hear from the woman who was engaged to Elvis Presley on the day he died. Her first live interview ever. That'll be fascinating. Let's get a check of the top stories, though, from Tim.
Good morning, everyone. President Obama arrived overnight in Eastern Europe, where he took a stand against Russian aggression and denounced the execution of another American journalist by ISIS. NBC News senior White House correspondent Chris Jansing joins us from Estonia. Chris, good morning.
Good morning, Tamron. In fact, the president warned this morning that our reach is long and justice will be served against those who perpetrated these horrific acts against two American journalists. He says the objective now is to degrade and destroy ISIS to the point where they are just a manageable problem. Of course, the question is how. The Pentagon and intelligence officials have drawn up a list of possible ISIS targets within Syria, but there's no indication that the president is willing to take military action the way it has in Iraq. Later today, he will leave here in Estonia and head to the NATO summit in Wales, where he will be working to build an international coalition with pressure building to do something about ISIS. Pressure building both here in Europe as well as in the United States. Tamron?
All right, Chris, thank you very much. A third American aid worker.
Name, Father, we ask you to open eyes, open ears this day. Let's go with 2 Chronicles chapter 28, verse 17, and it reads, "For again, and besides, the Edomites had come and smitten Judah and carried away captives." It wasn't but approximately 2 generations before, under Amaziah, that Judah thumped the Edomites' gourd. If you remember, that's where Amaziah, though, after they had defeated the Edomites, he collected their gods and brought small g, their idols, and brought them back to Jerusalem and set them up as his gods to worship them. I remind you, too, in verse 16, where we ended, that Ahaz had just sent money, I'll add, to the kings of Assyria to help him. The plural there, the S, means the great king, of course, that being Tilgath-Pileser. He's got trouble. Ahaz has trouble on every front. Verse 18. The Philistines also had invaded, and Uzziah had subdued the Philistines not all that many generations before. The Philistines also had invaded the cities of the low country, the south country, in other words, and the south of Judah, and had taken Beth-Shemesh, and Aijalon, and Gederoth, and Shoko, with the villages thereof, and Timnah with the villages thereof, Gimzo also, and the villages thereof, and they dwelt there. The Philistines moved